That's right, we're here, we're live. There's so much football today. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours from our family to you.
Oh, yeah.
On this Jabbing Turkey Day.
Oh, nice.
We had to do it.
Tradition.
It is a tradition. It really is.
It's 9 a.m. You think people are into the wine yet? Into the cocktail weenies?
Would you be if you weren't here?
Who says I am already? I am here.
We're presented by Intuit QuickBooks. We are live in New York City, and happy Thanksgiving Thursday, November 28th. It is finally here. Peter Schrager, Nate Pearls, and Kyle Brandt. My name is Kay Adams. He's wearing a Keenan Allen jersey. You don't need to know about that. We'll tell you everything you do need to know right now because it's time for the
lead block.
And I want to welcome in all of my favorite turkeys, a star-studded lineup of all the main dishes. Take a look. Stacey Dale's coming to us from Detroit. Jane Slater, what up? She's in Arlington. And Ian Rappaport, my favorite smoked turkey, is somewhere in New York. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you all. You're part of our family here on NFL Network. Jane and Ian, we'll get to you in a minute. Stacey Dales, you're up first. Bears, Lions, first game of the day. Set the scene for us in Detroit.
Well, it's fitting that Ian's here, and hi, Jane, and hi, all of you. Happy Thanksgiving. But Ian and I kind of tag-teamed on the David Blau starting today theme last night for these Lions. He has never started an NFL game, will be the first career regular season start. He is the undrafted rookie out of Purdue, and obviously the Driscoll injury was substantial enough for him to go today. I just talked to somebody with the Lions, and I would describe per them his week as excited. I mean, this is a guy that has been on the scout team since he joined the team during the preseason, and he's been the scout quarterback. He has a competitiveness that you're going to see maybe play out here today. He's got some confidence, but ultimately, this team is very concerned about 52 and 94. The Lions, when they look at Khalil Mack and Leonard Floyd, they're going to have to change their protections with this offensive line and show some different looks. And then the cornerbacks. Is David Blau going to take some shots down the field? Because that's one of the questions about him coming out of college. Does he have the accuracy down the field? And they're going to have to, in talking to the source I just did, because the cornerbacks, Prince Amukamara and Kyle Fuller, they don't want them to sit on those routes. So they want to change it up, take some shots when they can. We'll see how the rookie fares today, you guys.
Appreciate you. Stacey Dales will be joining us all morning long, leading up to game day morning, kicking off at 10 a.m. Eastern. Jane, let's head over to you. You are, of course, in Arlington. The Bills are in town. A big one. Get us set for this one.
Yeah, you know, with all the talk about Jerry Jones roasting his staff this week, the underrated storyline was Amari Cooper, who's been held in check the last 2 weeks. Now, he was asked about that in the locker room on Thursday, and he said it's kind of, or Tuesday rather, this week's gotten ahead of me. He said it's kind of hard to dominate a game when you've only had 2 targets. Now, he didn't say that as a need to get more targets or necessarily get more catches. He knows that he can be impactful when he has the ball, but he also says it really helps when the team has other guys like Michael Gallup and Randall Cobb who've stepped up in recent weeks. Now, he's going to get a tough assignment today when you consider that Bills cornerback Tre'Davious White is going to be on him. The Cowboys are going to need to get back to that passing game. It's what's worked for them this season. We'll see if they can do it today and stay at that 500 mark.
And you know, Jane, as well as I do, you and I have both been talking up Michael Gallup week in, week out. If Trey is hanging out with Amari Cooper, it could be another day for Mr. Gallup to shine at home in front of all of the bright lights. Thank you, Slater. We'll talk to you in a bit. And before we get to Ian Rappaport, our NFL Network insider, with more on the Cowboys, we want to remind everyone what Jerry Jones had to say about Jason Garrett yesterday, right here on Good Morning Football.
Let me tell you, no one in this country has earned the right to say, I'm a Jason Garrett man more than me. I am his man. And we want the very same thing, and that's for our players to play at their very best. And we want his staff to coach at their very best. The bottom line is we get graded. I'm in business. I don't have to win the Super Bowl in business every year. I can come in 6th and have a hell of a year. But in this business, you've got to come in first.
Ian Rappaport, you can kind of hear us in the background. We weren't on camera, but I can tell you collectively at the breakfast table, all of our faces were like, while he was saying that. And this news, this interview that he had with us traveled yesterday and into today. So what do you make of the future with Jason Garrett in Dallas this morning?
Okay, Jerry Jones does a lot of interviews. He does radio several times a week. He speaks post-game. There have been a lot of words that have come out of Jerry Jones' mouth, and I don't recall him ever saying what he did yesterday to you guys, which is, first of all, some years coming in 6 just based on the talent is okay. This is not one of those years. This is a clear indication that Jerry Jones believes this team is talented enough to do some really special things. And when I talk to people around the league, take a look at this roster, 1-53, especially at the key spots, they are really talented. This is a team that should be winning. And then the other key thing, Jerry Jones said basically Jason Garrett needs to finish first. I took that to be winning the division, which at this point they're leading, but certainly do not have it locked up. It was a clear mandate from the owner. What has to happen for Jason Garrett to keep his job, and I would expect him to have to win a playoff game or two to make that happen as well, okay?
Tough one today up against the Bills. Thank you so much, Ian Rappaport. Thanks to Jane Slater, to Stacey Dales, all of our reporters giving us all the goods and getting us set for all of this action. We'll talk to you a little bit later. And with 3 big Thanksgiving days on the docket, we're going to break them down with something we do every Thursday. It's called...
Let's do it.
Throwdown Thursday. All right, we just heard from Ian and Jane. Bills going to Dallas. They are there now to take on the Cowboys. Both teams have a great quarterback leading the offense. I'd like to know which quarterback, Nate, would you rather have as your franchise guy, Allen or Prescott?
We're going to have this conversation.
We are. We're having it.
Y'all going to disrespect Dak Prescott like
top
that?
10 pick from Buffalo who's got 8 wins. Yeah, go on. Talk about the other guy.
This is the first season that he's actually fulfilled those expectations. I'm not here to knock Josh Allen. He's having an incredible year over the last, handful of games. 14 total touchdowns, 1 interception. Cool.
Wow.
But Dak Prescott is by far a better quarterback. By far, no question. Listen, he's going to lead the Cowboys to the 3rd division title in 4 years.
Is he?
Peter? Yeah, he is. And on top of that, he's a better passer, and he's a better runner and a better decision maker. So I'm going with Dak Prescott.
I'll take the second-year guy who we took in the top 10, not in the 4th round. The second-year guy taking the top 10, who has thrown our team on his back and has gotten us to our best start in, 20 years. And furthermore, is in the 2nd year of his contract. I don't want to look at Dak in that contract right now. If I'm dealing with it and I've got to now devote $35 to $40 million with Dak Prescott, I'll take the 2nd-year guy and the 2 years left on his contract and deal with it at a later date. I think Josh Allen, the sky is the limit. And if I'm starting a team right now and I'm building it, I want the 2nd-year quarterback on that rookie deal who has given me the same production as Dak Prescott win-wise, if not better. And furthermore, is the face of our franchise, no doubt, is our guy. We're all in. Not this, I don't know if he's our guy or not, because we haven't committed financially to him in the long-term deal.
I don't see Ezekiel Elliott out there with Josh Allen. I don't see Amari Cooper out there. Ooh. He is younger. I think he has more raw talent. And yet I'm going with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott already has a playoff skin on the wall.
Talk about it.
Most importantly, doesn't really appear to be interested in making money. Like, it's very strange. We all think that after this year, he's going to make $40 million a year. Maybe he's going to make what Jerry tells him to make, because that's pretty much what he's doing this year. And I love that in my franchise quarterback. I would go Rain Dakota Prescott.
I saw a PSA on NFL Network earlier that said it's not thanks-taking.
It's not thanks-taking. He's not about succession, Kay. He's about success.
Tonight's game features the Saints taking on the Falcons in an NFC South divisional battle that features 2 of the league's best pass catchers. My question to you is, who do you trust more to make the big catch? Is it can't guard Michael Thomas or Julio Jones?
I'd be lying if I went against Michael Thomas this season. Michael Thomas catches everything in sight, and he catches from every single quarterback.
You love Julio.
And I love Julio.
I know, no one knows him more than you.
I am a huge Julio guy, but this season, let's at least give the crown to where it's due and where it belongs. It's Michael Thomas. It's not Julio. It's Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is a guy who's going to break Marvin Harrison's record this season. It's on pace to do so. And the stuff he's done with Bridgewater is almost as impressive as Breeze. I love Julio Jones, Hall of Famer, the whole thing. 2019 is the season of Michael Thomas.
Nate, Iron Man's loaded, right? Weapons, armor, all that. Like, you can't beat Iron Man, and that's Julio. But then War Machine had some stuff, man. Like, they souped him up with the new technology. I look at Michael Thomas as the new Julio, or as I'm branding him, New Julio. Nice. I cannot answer any question against Michael Thomas this year. And guys, let's be honest. Julio had a couple of high-profile drops. He's still reaching for that one at the link. I will go Michael Thomas. You can't guard him. You got to pick him.
You're going last by design. I wanted you to hear those arguments. I will add that over the last 2 years, and you'll appreciate this, Michael Thomas has hauled in 85% of his targets. That is absurd at the clip that he's catching these balls.
Who's physically more impressive? Julio Jones, of course.
Okay.
He's a freak of nature, right? He's the closest thing to Calvin Johnson that we've seen.
Double bye, baby. Come on now.
But it's Michael Thomas. I got to give credit.
Wow, we got a sweep. Nate, I like it.
Just for the simple fact, to Kyle's point, we haven't seen Michael Thomas have big drops and big moments And I'm not knocking Julio, but we all remember him trying to make that catch. And it's just, it's just the fact that Michael Thomas is so consistent. So I'm going with Michael Thomas.
Top 2 highest paid wide receivers in the league. Also.
Ooh, showing up. I love that. Let's finish things off with a battle of 90s sitcom stars for the Chicago-Detroit game. From Chicago, it's the boy who introduced us to Topanga Lord, Sean Hunter, and Mr. Feeney, Mr. Savage.
God bless you.
Great show, great writing. Love it. And for Detroit, Uncle Joey himself, David Coulier, is it?
Dave Coulier?
Yeah. I would like to know who's the better 90s sitcom actor. Please, Ben Savage was so good.
Coulier looks great.
Mr. Hunter?
He does look.
What is that, Gosling on the right? We got the wrong photo? Good God, Coulier. Listen, I love Ben Savage too, but my Savage power ranking goes Ben at 3rd, Fred 2nd, Randy at 1.
Where does Garden fall?
Savage, Garden, Truly, Madly, Deeply, a deep 4. But listen, I can wrap this up for Coulier real quick. 3 words, baby. Jagged little pill. Good night. See you later.
I thought you were going to say cut it out.
That works
You know what?
too.
He should have, because I looked up the Thanksgiving Full House episode where they did that, and Coulier has just some gold he drops where he goes, you know, if the Pilgrims had landed in Florida, we'd be eating flamingo on Thanksgiving, and then they go, cut it out. It's beautiful. So I go Coulier.
Love Savage, love his brother Fred, love it all. Also love Coulier, America's Funniest People. Remember, there's America's Funniest Home Videos.
Talk about it.
America's Funniest People came
Tell the
out.
people about it.
And I'll tell you what, before America's Got Talent, Coulier was the dude who played the Nick Cannon role and was fantastic. Coulier in a Red Wings jersey, always.
This is not Last Comic Standing. That's Dat Fan. This is different.
This is different. There's way more.
All right, that's cool. Coulier's the man. Don't get me wrong. He's the man. But for every 12, 13, 14-year-old kid watching Ben Savage, what you got? Pull a girl like Topanga? You all sitting back like, hold up, maybe I got a chance to go get me to 10 in school. Wow. You walk to school with your chin high, writing a letter like, baby, I'm in love with you.
Bro, he was a savage.
Hey, he was a Topanga? Wow. We like, man, we all got a shot if he gets Topanga.
God bless Topanga.
You know what I'm saying?
God bless.
It's like Jermaine Dupri dating Janet Jackson.
What
about